Today, we are going to talk about expansion sequences in conversation. These are ways that basic adjacency pairs like question and answer or invitation and acceptance can be expanded. There are three main types. The first one is pre-expansions, which come before the main action. Secondly, post-expansions, which come after the main action. Thirdly, insert expansions, which happen in the middle of the sequence. You might also hear them called pre-sequences, post-sequences, and insertion sequences. Even though they are sequences by themselves, they are still considered expansions because they help complete or clarify a basic action.
Pre-expansions refers to pre-sequences, which are conversational moves that happen before the main action. They include pre-invitations, which prepare someone for an invitation, pre-request, which prepare someone for a request, and pre-announcement, which prepare someone for an announcement. In pre-invitations, there are three types, which are go-ahead, blocking, and hedging. Go-ahead promotes progress for the recipient to proceed with the base FPP, which the pre-invitation is projecting. This means the listener shows they are open to the invitation, so the speaker can continue. Next, blocking is when the response hints that the upcoming invitation will likely be rejected and discourage the speaker from continuing with the invitation. This means the listener already sounds like they do not want the invitation. Hedging happens when the listener responds in a way that indirectly shows they may decline the invitation and reduce the speaker's confidence to insist on the invitation. Additionally, summons-answer sequences, which refer to interactions where a speaker tries to gain the attention of another participant, are not limited to conversational openings and can also occur in ongoing talk where it is necessary to secure the recipient's attention.
Our first example is called Go Ahead. In this conversation, Nelson gives a pre-invitation what you're doing and Clara responds normally. Later in line 7, Clara accepts Nelson's actual invitations. Since Clara accepts, the pre-expansion basically works because it leads smoothly into the main action. So in a go-ahead expansion, nothing stops the invitation from happening. The pre-sequence simply confirms that it's okay to continue. Our second type is blocking. Here, John starts with a pre-invitation, "How you doing? Say what you're doing." But Judy blocks the invitation before it can happen. When she says, "Well, we're going out," she answers in a way that prevents John from moving forward with his possible invitation. So, a blocking response stops the projected action before it even gets off the ground. Our third type is hedging. In this example, Judy doesn't exactly block the invitation entirely. Instead, she gives a reason that might prevent the invitation. "We are going out," but then adds something that still leaves room for the invitation, like asking why. John then starts to offer his possible plan and Judy continues giving information that shows why accepting might be difficult. So hedging is softer than blocking. It doesn't shut down the action immediately, it shows hesitation or potential difficulty without immediately refusing.
Now I will explain about post-expansions. Post-expansions are terms that come after a completed adjacency pair, for example, after a question answer or an invitation acceptance. The main purpose of post-expansions is to either close the interaction smoothly or extend it when more clarification is needed. These terms show how people maintain politeness, manage relationships, and ensure mutual understanding. There are two types of post-expansions. The first one is minimal post-expansions, also called sequence closing thirds. Are very short terms like "oh, okay, good," or "great." They appear right after the second part of an adjacency pair and signal that no further talk is needed. The first example is with Harry and Joy. Harry gives an invitation prop and then extends it to a possible invitation. Joy hesitates as she is not committing, and then Harry responds with "oh, okay." That "oh, okay" is the minimal post-expansion. It acknowledges the hesitation and politely closes the sequence. Moving on to the second example, Minimal post-expansions can also be words like good or great. In the example, Annie invites Sue to come over and Sue accepts. Annie then says good. This doesn't add new information as it simply closes the invitation acceptance sequence smoothly. Moving on to the second type of post-expansions, which is non-minimal post-expansions. It involves more than one extra turn after the adjacency pair. Instead of closing the conversation, they extend it for clarification or confirmation. For example, Nick asks a question. Sasha answers, but Nick repeats part of the answer as he's checking for confirmation. Elvis then confirms with yeah. Here the conversation continues even after the initial question-answer pair, so this is a non-minimal post-expansion.
Today I'm going to explain insert expansions, also known as insertion sequences, and how they work in everyday conversation. Insert expansions are small side exchanges that appear inside a main adjacency pair, such as a question followed by an answer. They temporarily interrupt the flow of the conversation, but importantly, they don't break the sequence. Instead, they help speakers clarify meaning, confirm understanding, or gather information before giving the actual response. To understand this, imagine the basic structure. First is first pair part or FPP. Second, insert questions. Third, insert answer. And lastly, second pair part or SPP. So the speaker hears a question but feels they need more information in order to answer properly. They insert a quick clarification question, get a confirmation, and then finally provide the actual answer. Here is an example from the text. First, how would you describe yourself and your appearance? This is the FPP. And second, describe my appearance. This is an insert question, a request for clarification. And third, yeah, a short confirmation serving as the insert answer. And lastly, slightly longer than average hair. This becomes the SPP, which is the real answer. This small interruption doesn't derail the interaction. In fact, it shows how people actively manage understanding in real time. Insert expansions highlight that conversation isn't about speed, it's about maintaining mutual comprehension. Finally, it is important to note that this is not a pre-invitation probe. Instead, it's simply the respondent seeking clarification so they can give an appropriate and relevant answer.